The system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history. In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing. The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We'd get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As guys, witness the crypto market completely bleed out into oblivion. Bitcoin at $18,500, below its 2018 all-time high. This is a magnificent sight to behold. Ethereum under $1,000 at $960, and I have to say that I am currently a predatory buyer of Ether at this moment in time. It's about 80% corrected from its all-time high, and with ETH 2.0 coming out relatively soon, the supply shock, the change in the tokenomics, the improvement of the technology, and the betterment of the environment, all these factors are going to shoot this baby to the moon. And I want all of you to understand that this is a great time to enter. I will be continuously accumulating Ether at these prices and below, and I highly recommend all of you do the same. On top of that, guys, I have to say, of my 50% of business reserves still left on the side, 25% of that has been deployed at this moment in time to buy this crash. Ether, XRP, some HBAR, some Stellar, and a couple other blue chip tokens are going to be the big boys at play here. Now is not a time to accumulate small cap tokens. Now is the time to get your blue chips at discounted prices. And that's just a fact of the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, something I want to point out to you as well. Tokens like Ethereum and Bitcoin are some of the biggest losers over the past couple weeks relative to some of these other altcoins. These altcoins have bled out so much to the point where they're actually losing less than the two leaders of the crypto space. Another interesting thing I want to point out to all of you is that Nexo, a crypto loan platform, is also down 50% on the week, roughly. And it's probably based on what happened to Celsius. People are looking to see which platform is going to be the next one to die. But I actually think Nexo could be an incredible buying opportunity for a lot of you. It is a high quality exchange, and instead of looking like Celsius that's trying to lock up your tokens and is actually insolvent, Nexo is actually showing a lot of strength in times like this. Remember, they're partnered with Fidelity, and it may be one of those tokens that you may want to consider entering. That being said though, guys, that's besides the point. My last video I discussed how there was going to be yet one more massive crash, and here we are in the middle of it as we speak. The crypto fear greed index right now is at a 6, and today it's probably even a little lower. Extreme fear is percolating these markets, and that is when the maximum opportunity to get rich arrives. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually want to point something else out to you. This may not even be the bottom. Kevin OLeary from Shark Tank is warning There is one more massive player in the crypto space that's probably going to zero. That's bigger and worse than Celsius. And depending on which one that is, will depend on how much further low we go. If Bitcoin happens to get under 15K, I'll start accumulating Bitcoin. If Ether keeps dropping from here, I'll keep buying more. I'm loaded up with my XRP, HBAR, and Stellar. A couple more blue chips are being accumulated too. But now I want all of you to listen to Kevin OLeary tell you exactly what he foresees coming in the next couple weeks. Please take a listen.
In the case of Celsius, it is going to go to zero. It's over-levered. It's gated now. And the trouble with gating, a good example would be a hedge fund. Every single customer wants to be liquid the minute you open the gate. And so it's a self-realizing outcome. It will go to zero. It'll have no assets. But that's important. It's not enough. It's not big enough. I'm looking for something bigger. Somebody out there is in trouble. We don't know who they are yet. We'll find out soon. It'll probably happen in the next 30 days. Some giant player is going to zero because this is the first time applying leverage to an asset class that most people assumed wouldn't be this volatile, but has proven to be volatile yet again. And I say all this, and it's important that this happens. It's bad for the individual investors, but in the context of making this market more educated, more institutional, more stable, with better price discovery and less leverage, you need these players to go to zero. So Celsius, thank you for your sacrifice. They'll go to zero.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was absolutely brutal. Kevin OLeary fires warning shots, saying, Celsius, thank you for your sacrifice. That is insane. One of the most credible exchanges in the crypto market, insolvent, and it's done. Nobody saw that coming. And whatever falls next will be the mass liquidation style event we need to see our bottom and then finally be shot up to the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening now in the crypto market is a flushing of all the BS, of all the leverage, of all the nonsense. And it's actually like a slingshot effect. Know how with the slingshot, the further you cock it back, the farther it goes. We're falling quickly in asset prices right now. And I believe it's because once we finally recover, it's going to be massive. It's going to be explosive. And we'll finally see the growth in the cryptos that we all expect. I do not believe this is going to be a 4-year cycle again. Of course, the halving is important, but we have ETH 2.0 and this SEC case coming to an end as well before that happens. And I think that will drive the market in the positive direction. Now, before we continue with anything else, guys, I want you all to better understand this Celsius situation. And I'm actually going to play you an ironic clip of Peter Schiff being told that you can earn yield with Bitcoin on Celsius and him warning about that exact fact. Watch how Bitcoin Maxis cannot justify how Bitcoin earns yield and how Peter Schiff was right. I don't always agree with a lot of things that he has to say about crypto, but he's a smart man and he was right in this instance. Please take a listen.
Bitcoin pays dividend. Try Celsius.
How does Bitcoin pay a dividend?
6.2% dividend. Because we earn yield.
How do you earn yield on Bitcoin? What do you do to generate income on that Bitcoin?
I'm happy to spend an hour with you.
Yeah, you're trading it. You got to be taking a tremendous amount of risk. The Bitcoin itself doesn't generate any yield.
It does. Just like any other asset can generate yield. Gold.
No, but what earnings does the Bitcoin generate?
Gold generates 5.5% at Celsius yield.
No,
tokenized
what
gold
are you doing to generate that? You must be taking tremendous risk to generate those returns. Of course you are.
Okay.
You're not. Of course you must be.
Look, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just explaining that this is
interest rates are practically zero. How can you get 5% interest on gold?
It's an amazing opportunity for people to unbank themselves, right? Take advantage of this market.
You know who also had an amazing opportunity? Madoff. Bernie Madoff had an amazing opportunity too.
Now, guys, keep that in mind. The number one problem in the crypto market is Bitcoin Maxis, spreading misinformation and propaganda about the truth. Bitcoin does not earn yield, and you had to take massive risks to earn that yield with Celsius. And we're seeing that now. It ended up being a Ponzi scheme. And the worst part about it is, Celsius canceled a planned Q&A on YouTube yesterday, 5 minutes before the start time, as billions of users of their money were banned from being withdrawn. Investors are nervous and worried. And after UST and Terra, this is a sight to behold. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so you all understand a little better what happened with Celsius. When the UST depeg started, there was a plan to make a deal with Luna to save the peg. Someone told all the UST whales not to sell, and there was no danger of UST failing because there was a plan to save the peg. Celsius sold to protect their community. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a number of tweets showing exactly what was going on for a while. The negotiations, the backroom deals, the wink wink hush hush. I don't think the shockwaves of what happened to UST, Celsius, and Terra are done yet. Celsius got out the door first, suffered the lowest losses, didn't want any part of the bailout, stuck holding the UST, Luna bags, lost hundreds of millions of dollars each. 3 Arrows, Galaxy Digital, Jump Capital. Jump Capital and 3 Arrows bought $1 billion of Luna, unlocked linearly over 4 years. Jump Capital wrote a very detailed 18-minute report on what caused the depeg. Motive, blame, lost funds. Motive, Celsius competitor. Are you guys starting to get the picture here? As everything is going on in the crypto space right now, I think this phrase is going to be legendary. There's a liquidation hunt going on in crypto right now. And this is going to be a big boys crying on the streets type of event. The attacks are beginning. Crypto is suffering. And in the background, waiting in the wings, we still have the atomic bomb of Tether ready to implode. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that. This is going to be a massive fireworks display. And while everyone is running for the hills, I'm protecting against 8% inflation with my 80% altcoin losses. Ladies and gentlemen, crypto investors are crazy. We are savages. We are emotionless. We witness the most volatile portfolio fluctuations that any other investor on the planet has to deal with. We're witnessing the volatility to the downside now because it's offering all of us an open gate to the opportunity of buying the great entry points that give us the ROI to make it into the new 1%. Predatory buyers of XRP right now will be godfathered in to the new 1%. And what I have to stress is XRP is so far beyond the use case of what every other crypto and the entire market is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to remind you of this clip from Stansberry Research of them speculating XRP could be used as infrastructure for CBDC adoption. Please take a listen.
So the paths are leading to some form of a digital currency. So do you think it's coincidence that we're now at the exact same moment seeing executive orders and mandates come out, and in it there is talk of a coming Federal Reserve digital dollar?
No, it's par for the course as far as I am concerned. I mean, how far along they are, I'm not certain. I have looked into this fairly deeply. There is some talk of going on the back of, let's say, an XRP or some other currency that's out there now that's functioning well and has been basically tested, and then putting a CBDC on top of that. That certainly could be achieved. And if it were, it could expedite how quickly this comes to the fore.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the state of everything that's going on, he said XRP's functioning and has been tested, while Jerome Powell stated rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar. A U.S. central bank digital currency is being examined to help the U.S. dollar's international standing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's actually been a lot of speculation discussing, could USDC be the U.S. digital dollar? There's no guarantee. That is just speculation at this moment in time. But they're certainly a leader in trying to position themselves at taking that role. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the strong ties USDC has with Stellar too. Oh, things are going to be very spicy in the next couple days, weeks, and months to come. Jerome Powell and the Fed have been hawkish and predatory with destroying capital and our wealth over the past couple months. There's going to be a point where they have to reverse course. I can guarantee that. The question is, how soon are they going to give us our bull run back? How quick are they going to cut rates again? I think it's almost over. The pain is real, but they're ripping off the Band-Aid, and it's going to be short and quick. And I actually asked a poll the other day on Twitter asking, do you believe the Fed will cause a recession and allow themselves to be the blame? A lot of you answered no, specifically because the Fed will not allow themselves to be the blame. Right now, guys, the Fed are lowering interest rates, increasing interest rates and causing the stock market and crypto market to collapse. But the Federal Reserve and central banks, they never take the blame for market crashes, great depressions, great recessions. They always need a crisis to be the cover and the reason for why. We had this health crisis in 2020 be the catalyst for mass money printing. But now we're coming towards the end of the system, and there will probably be another crisis. We can speculate as to what that crisis may be, but it's something I always have to remind all of you. And in the meantime, XRP's going through this SEC case right now, as regulatory clarity in crypto is accelerating, especially off the backs of exchanges collapsing left and right. Exchange regulation is on standby. But the irony of the situation is former SEC Chair Jay Clayton talks rapidly evolving crypto regulation landscape. And apparently, he's not as tight on crypto regulations as he used to be. You know, maybe because he's actively invested in the crypto market at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at these crypto prices right now with Ether at $9.35 as life-changing entries. These are periods in time that separate the adults from the children in the room. We have to understand that this will be a short-lived, short-term collapse in the market. But what the road ahead has in store for us will be life-changing. As everyone's changing their tune, flipping from bullish to bearish, I am personally more bullish than I ever have been before. And if you follow what I'm telling you on this channel, there is no way you could lose. Because you'll either hold through the volatility, or you'll come out of the other side buying these entry points now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to cap off this video today by playing a clip of Gary Gensler being a complete hypocrite and reminding all of you of the massive loss they took in court against Ripple the other week. that loss is going to come into play very, very soon. And when this court case is finally over, all of us will catapult ourselves into brand new tax brackets. You better believe it, my friends. We're gonna make it to the end. This is the Bearable Bull here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
When you make a decision with other people's money, there's going to be some inherent conflicts. That's a situation as old as antiquity. Left unchecked, these conflicts might affect the quality of the advice that you receive and in turn, the financial future you have worked so hard to build. There are built-in certain concepts embedded in our regulation to protect you. These obligations protect all of us and build trust in our financial system. If you think that investment professional might not be following these standards, reach out to us. And everything we do at the SEC is to help protect investors, and we are here to work for you.
Only Congress has oversight on the SEC. Demand your lawmakers support an investigation. Connect to Congress today.
Another point you've made, and this is, I think, particularly relevant 10 years into a bull market, is that I think you said more money has been lost anticipating a downturn than actually in the downturn. Can you explain?
Well, obviously, the market's gone up tenfold since I stopped running Magellan. So you make more money on the upside. The market's going to be a lot higher 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Trying to predict the market is really a waste. I don't know what it's going to do. It can go down. When I ran Magellan, 13 years, it declined 10% or more, 9 times the market.
Wow.
I had a perfect record. I went down more than 10% every time. Wherever the market went down, I went down more. But over the long term, the upside is more than the downside. So you got to say to yourself, do I need the money in the next month? Do I need the money in the next year? Do I have kids going to college? Do I have a wedding coming up? Then you're a bad investor. If you can keep putting money in, you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 year, you should do well.